Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome back to Remote Money with Ryan. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate today. Enjoy your day. I've got a few opportunities, more worldwide work from home opportunities for you today. We only do worldwide here, okay? It will cover multiple locations as always, multiple time zones as always, all right? We want to give you that location independence, that freedom and flexibility you deserve for 2024. SAS product owner, remote at Iubenda or Ubenda. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I believe it's a company based in Italy, definitely in Europe. It's a legal technology scale up founded in 2021. All right. It's now used by over 90,000 clients in the European Union, US, and 100 more companies. So essentially, they help companies with their becoming legally compliant with their business and tech solutions. They become legally compliant in those areas in at different levels of government, so local, regional, and federal. All right. They have 1 million users. They do software as a service, right? Legal software. They're looking for an enthusiastic product owner to join the team to be fully responsible for the product line. They're going to report to the head of product. All right. They're going to be in charge of defining product roadmaps and strategies, allocating resources and revenue, and achieving growth related goals. Okay. Again, I give you a high level synopsis. I'm not going to read verbatim, but they're looking for 3 years of experience in a similar position. All right. So managing a project or owning a product. Good understanding of software development and software as a service dynamics. Um, Remarkable enthusiasm. So these are some soft skills here. Okay. And will support Ubenda's growth. High proficiency in English and exceptional soft skills and team spirit. All right. They're only literally asking for 5 things, but I think the top three are, usually what they're mostly looking for. English, that's probably a non-negotiable. And you got to bring some years of experience. So experience owning a product, preferably in software as a service. Even if you don't have that, if you worked with other products, more tangible products, um, whether it's clothing, um, I don't know, anything, retail, whatever it may be, leverage those skills, okay? Because it's always transferable. I highly believe in transferable skills. Pre-added values, these are extra, so previous experience in a startup and scale up working environment, knowledge of additional languages if you have them, and hands-on experience in software development and or legal. So even if you're like a paralegal somewhere, or you have, in Canada, we have Freedom of Information Acts. Even if it's like you've had exposure to an obscure line of legalities that you've had to sift through, whether documents or applying in the real world in negotiations, whatever it may be, leverage those skills, like anything relevant. Dig in your resume, dig in your experience, your background, and leverage any sort of relevancy to this position. All right. So the location, they believe in fully remote. I would bookmark this Ubenda page for future openings if this one is not your thing. They're based in Italy and Germany. So if you're out there in that side of the world, they work hybrid. But if you aren't, they're fully remote, and you're completely free and entitled to work from wherever you prefer in the world. Again, this is illegal. Most companies don't hire, or they hire based on geographical restrictions because of tax purposes, of legal reasons. They just can't get around it. But this is a legal company, guys. This is a legal software company. So they understand the legal implications and compliance and tax implications of working in different geographic areas around the world, right? So this is probably a company you want to bookmark right now, because they can get around that thing. They will be a truly fully remote company without geographic restrictions. All right. So benefits, competitive salary, paid time off is 25 weekdays per year. Remote work, again, 100% remotely if you prefer, or from one of their offices. They onboard people who prefer to work full-time remotely, which is great. They have company retreats. You're provided with work equipment. You get a learning budget, and so on. You get a therapy incentive as well, offered in English and Italian with psychologists. And you get English classes if you need it. All right, so read through their privacy policy if you need, um, and then send your CV in English, and you can look them up on different social media platforms. All right, so that's it, guys. We got a couple more I'm going to go through real quick. Another company is Zapier. Okay, I feature this company quite a bit because it's a very high salary, high paying, global, worldwide remote work from home job company. Okay, I know that's a mouthful, but they're looking for a senior inside sales representative. It's another SAS company. They deal with automation and sales. They're basically looking for someone to help customers by doing demos over Zoom. Okay, so if you don't know Zoom, that's a kind of like Google Meet or Skype. It's kind of like a platform where you can do video streaming and video calling and that sort of thing. Okay, video meetings as well. About you for this role, again, I'm going to put the links in the description. You can go through this in more detail. 3 years experience in a quota carrying full cycle sales position. All right. So quota carrying is just you have a target to meet, whether it's on the phone and you got to do 5 sales per hour, or 10 sales per week, or if you're at the bank, you got to do like 5 referrals per day, whatever it may be. You're an effective communicator. You can present to an executive audience with ease. All right. So you can speak to the room, command the room, whether it's online or in person, but preferably online for this role. You're experimental, excuse me. You have the ability to test ideas rapidly. So you're good with software. You're good with computers. You can think on your feet. You're comfortable getting into the technicalities of the product, API offerings, and curious about building solutions with those tools. Some of the things you're going to do, again, it's inside sales. It's the same everywhere. You have 3 main responsibilities. Showcase the company's app here as a potential solution for different companies, teams, and businesses. Number 2, you're going to lead demos virtually, okay, to model a wide range of use cases in which Zapier can help drive ROI for customers. Again, you're closing deals. You're going to do this by 30 to 60-minute video conferences where you lead them from interest to learning more about the product to purchasing the product. All right, you got a close deal. And number 3, you're going to leverage product and customer data, insights, use cases, and then you're going to identify and connect with and convert customers to the upmarket plans. To do so, you're going to partner with the broader sales leadership to experiment, design, and execute sales plays. All right. So again, it's inside sales. You're showcasing the company and you're closing deals. All right. That's pretty much it. It pays $114,000 per year in the U.S. and Canada, all the way up to $171,000. So the more experience you have, the better your skills, the more you'll be paid. $114,000, guys, for 3 years experience is remarkable. I would go ahead and apply to this one. And again, they have a number of questions. The application is on the right-hand side, as you can see. You want to load your resume, your email. You want to answer these questions: why you're interested at Zapier, 3 lines max, why you're a good fit, and so on. All right. Why do you want to work at a tech company? All right, guys. And last one, but not least, is a company called DHIS2. They're looking for a communication specialist, either remote or on site, preferably remote. This one does have a time zone restriction, so you got to be pretty close to the European time zone. So if you're Eastern time, like Toronto, New York, for example, I just use that as a reference because that's where I live. You're going to be about 6 hours away from Norway. This is where this company is located, Oslo, Norway. All right, so they have a platform for data collection analysis that's open source and self-hosted, and it's used in more than 100 companies. It's used by 80 national ministries of health. All right, so governments are using this platform. You do see the location here. Again, they're looking for people who can work with European hours. So New York, for example, is about 6 hours away from Norway by time zone. All right, so if you're like, on the opposite side of the world in Asia, for example, this is probably not going to be for you. Or if you're in Australia, unfortunately, this is not going to be for you. But if you're in Europe, Africa, or close to Europe, I'd say Eastern time, it's close enough that you can have enough overlap with their day. So you can probably cover like 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. if they allow you to work later into the day. All right, so This company, for example, they work with and they're supported by the WHO, World Health Organization. They're used every day around the world to manage routine health service delivery like COVID, surveillance and vaccination, malaria campaigns, HIV prevention and AIDS prevention, tuberculosis, and so on. All right. So this job description is essentially you're going to be on the comms team, the communications team, and you're going to be doing a lot of digital and print media, such as website content, newsletters, and other email campaigns, informational articles, in depth country stories, news bulletins, press releases, social media content, scripted and interview based video content, photographs, and digital. A ton. Okay. You're going to be doing the whole gamut of social media, editorial content, external comms, maybe even some internal comms as well. It's a lot of writing, and it seems like it's some creative as well. Okay, so there's plenty to do with this role. You're going to work with the comms lead and the core team and groups and other stakeholders to identify topics of interest, gaps in communications areas for improvement, collaborate with the communications team on design of new comms products and strategies. You're going to plan, prepare, review, and revise, and maintain comms materials. Okay. And go through all of this, like I said, websites, email campaigns, social media, reports, and fact sheets, and so on. You're going to conduct outreach and plan that outreach, okay, and do that outreach of communications campaigns to targeted audiences, excuse me. And finally, they're looking for, this is the important part, 3 years of professional writing experience. So if you've ever worked in a writing capacity at any company, even in school, guys, I know it says professional writing experience, but I'm not downplaying their request. But if you did your master's, for example, and it's like 2 year master's program, leverage that, because in my view, that is professional writing experience. Your level of writing has to be pretty darn good. If you have a PhD, that sort of thing, right? Even your 4th year bachelor's, if you did a thesis or what do they call it? Yeah, a thesis, right? I would consider that professional writing experience. If you've even volunteered for a company in any writing capacity, leverage that. Significant comms experience, ideally with variety of media types. So this is not really negotiable. You had to have some sort of media experience, but maybe not, it's not even direct. Maybe it's submitting something for publishing on a blog, right? That's out there in a professional capacity that can't really be edited, right? Excellent writing, research, communication, and editing, organizational skills, digital publishing experience, those kind of tools like Adobe, Canva, maybe. Experience in producing rich media content, including social media, video, and educational material. This is the one thing I don't really like about these comms jobs. They want you to be the writer and the graphic designer and the social media marketer. They want you to kind of be everything all in one. But again, always emphasize the first 3 bullets, okay? This seems to me like it's a writing intensive job. So I would, emphasize your writing skills more so than your social media skills here. Um, English is required, fluency in English, but if you speak other languages, that's a plus. Ability and willingness to travel as needed. Again, they're in Europe and they deal with different governments around the world. And then experience with targeted communication to high level stakeholders. So leadership at donor and partner organizations. Maybe you've worked with government and government relations or something. Okay, so that's a plus if you worked in fields that they care about. Excuse me. And then extra things here for your application. Your application should include examples of writing that display a range of relevant formats, communicating your projects in a few sentences, write a message to the hiring manager outlining how your skills fit well. And then they also seem to care about diversity and inclusion. This is the important thing I was telling you about, the location and time zones. Okay, you got to be within, they prefer people who are, 4 hours of overlap with the Central European time zone. So like I was telling you, they're about 5-6 hours ahead of the Eastern time zone. Again, that's just where I'm located. Maybe you're somewhere else, but you got to have at least 4 hours of overlap. So yes, it's not a completely no geographic restriction time zone thing for this, but if you're located more than 2 time zones away from Europe, please say how you're going to accommodate the difference. So maybe you're going to stay up later, get up earlier. You're flexible. It's not going to be an overnight job because they won't accommodate that. If you're located many time zones away, do not include any additional information because it's going to be automatically rejected. All right, guys. So this covers probably half the world. It's a full-time remote position, 80%, and it's on an annual renewable contract, so year to year. Okay, it's not permanent, but and they haven't said how much they pay, but I would presume that based on the clients that they serve, it's going to pay pretty darn well. All right, so guys, that's pretty much it. I know it's a long video, but three really good companies to work for here. I haven't been able to find the salary for this job, but they do work with the UN, so I would presume that they pay pretty darn well. I've seen positions, other positions at this company, where they allow a 4-day work week at 80% of your salary, so you take a 20% pay cut for one less day of work. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see here, I'm just kind of looking for the company and what some of the salaries might be. This is a job, $64 to $81,000 for one job at this company, DHIS2, right? So yeah, I would expect to be within the 50 to 60 range for this company. But yeah, I mean, go ahead and apply. Let me know in the comments if it worked out for you. And good luck. God bless. Get money remotely. And I'll see you in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for sharing. Merry Christmas.